thought I would try to make a video while going outside for a little walk. It's been 2 weeks since my gastric bypass, and I just got home last Thursday night, like late Thursday night. So kind of want to say in my own words what happened. I went in Monday morning 2 weeks ago. Everything was looking good. Everything was going okay. And then after surgery, found out a few things. Number one, I apparently had an abscess wrapped around my spleen that was 15 centimeters in diameter. Switch hands. And that was problem number one. So immediately had to start me on antibiotics. Number two was that during the procedure, when they cut the new stomach and then attach it to the lower intestine, it becomes stapled at that point. Well, there was so much weight in the intestine and colon that it pulled the staples apart. Like literally ripped the staples twice. So the third time they had to hand suture me. So that kind of poses a problem. So for the last 2 weeks, I have been told, yes, I can eat this, no, I can eat this. Yes, I can eat this, no, I can eat this. So here's where it sits right now. Because of the abscess and the fact that I ended up having to get a stent put in because of all the issues, I am on a liquid diet. Now my understanding is that it should be as clear as possible. If I need milk, I can do that. And right now, I'm only using milk as a few quick sips if I need glucose. So I am on a liquid diet. I don't know what's considered to be a meal. I don't know what's considered to be a food. I'm just doing what my body tells me, and when my body says stop, stop. So don't know how long I'm going to last on this walk. This is my first walk at home since I left the hospital. I'm definitely trying to make sure I get out at least 10 minutes a walk. And I'm just double checking. Oh, my Samsung watch didn't even turn on. Okay. So everybody told me I needed to get up and move to heal, which I wholeheartedly agree with. The problem with it being August in Utah, temps are in the mid-90s and stays hotter later. So I'm kind of a little worried about that. However, I do have 3 different, or I have 2 flights of stairs. So that does give me a little bit more of a workout that I can do in the house. A few things I've noticed since I was dismissed. One is that I've definitely already lost weight. I weighed in at 270 or 372 on the morning I checked in for the surgery, and I ended up at 338 yesterday. I'm weighing myself at noon, so that way I can stay consistent on that. Number two, I had to get a vent put into the abscess in order for it to drain. That was done with radiological surgery, which means they had to use ultrasound to figure out how to do it. And so I have now got a drain bag hooked to me. The drain bag they gave me does come with straps, so I can strap it on my thigh and then put clothes over it so people can't see it. But this first bag I got didn't have them, so, and I just didn't feel like trying to go through all that hassle. So I just took a molly hook, which basically velcros around a loop or a belt, provides a little hang hook, and then it goes from there and just hangs off to the side so people can see that I have a bag. Okay. I'm gonna keep going and talk about some of the frustration I had. Number one, that's a very major surgery. So even if you have the best anesthesia team, you will not always come out of it mentally good to go. Number two, you will not, especially if you have any other conditions that come along with that, then there's definitely going to be problems. And number three, when medical professionals are trying to explain this to you, then in that condition, it becomes a real problem. So, make it down to the end of the trees. And then I'll turn around and head home. Yeah, I'm keeping it pretty slow because I'm not using like even a walking stick, which I do have for hiking. I am also not using anything like a walker. I have all that stuff, so don't have to worry about it. Alright, and we've reached the last tree. Show everybody what we got going. So this is the last tree that's on my block. So this is going to be the turnaround point. And for all my friends in Nebraska, that's the view from my house. Alright. So I'm still a little weak if I have to back up or try to turn around and back up. My big questions right now. Number one, since I have this stent and I'm not allowed to start eating pureed food until then, I don't know when I'm going to get this stent removed. So I'm basically on a liquid diet. Number 2, I got so many medicines. I've got instructions for medicines and stuff, and I think there's 1 or 2 medicines that might have fallen out of my bag after I got home. So I'm gonna ask my wife to go through her car, and then if we don't have it, I can call a bariatric surgeon in the morning and they can reissue it. Number 3 in this category, I'm still trying to figure out what's a meal, what's a beverage. And on a pure liquid diet, that's pretty hard to do. Now I am on a full liquid diet, so that means I can drink protein shakes, I can drink things like that, but with the size of my stomach, it takes at least a half hour to drink that, because you'll only be able to drink a few ounces, and then your stomach will go, hold on. Now the other thing is too, that since it's been 2 weeks, my stomach is finally starting to really heal and be less sensitized than it has been. So I'm honestly just afraid that I will overfill it with liquid or overfill it with like protein shake or protein drinks, and I will cause issues. As you can see right here, it's getting a little harder for me to keep balance, but that's okay. We're coming across a huge front of rocks here that I can use to keep balance. I have never been more scared about not knowing what to do to make sure I don't do anything to cause myself to go into shock or a coma. And I've been diabetic for 30 years. So it's very difficult for me right now. I am seriously afraid that I'm gonna screw something up really bad. Along with everything else going on, my wife's company bought a series of car lots. She works for a car dealership, and she's a member, one of the managers in the accounting department. And because of some terminations while I was out sick, my wife has had to work 12-hour days. So that is also putting a strain on everything. My support system is going through her own hell right now. And my parents decided to move back to Wisner, Nebraska. They bought a house, and the moving company came back yesterday, and he thought he could just intimidate my parents and get everything done. This guy was just trying to work as cheap as possible so he could have as much profit as possible. And I don't even know if my parents have their own bed, because this guy commingled a lot of furniture from a few different customers. Like, he was unloading furniture last night that wasn't even my parents. And my parents are feisty as hell, so they won't put up for it. But they did have to call the police in Wisner, Nebraska to make sure that this man didn't do anything inappropriate. So that's my support system. Now I'm going uphill, so might need a little help here. The best thing that I can do right now is, I guess, just drink when I need to drink, protein shakes 4 times a day, maybe some protein soup or protein broth, and make sure I get up and exercise, walking at least 10 minutes 4 times a day. I'm about halfway home, and here, the large stairs there, those are right to my front door. So if anyone has questions, concerns, they just want to talk to me for a little while, if you're on Facebook and you're a friend of mine, just ask and I will give you my phone number. My friends on X, same thing, just DM me. For anybody else, especially my friends in Wisner, Nebraska, my parents bought a house on 13th Street that's kind of halfway where the old elementary school is. It's actually nestled between Kurt Lance's house and Kurt Lance Jr.'s house. I graduated high school with Kurtie Jr. So if anybody can go in, say hi, check on my parents, I would wholeheartedly appreciate it. I am going to make it into my house without sitting down. No promises once I get in there, but I'm going to make it into my house without sitting down. Feels like when I have to stop myself, I'm using ballet steps. So, all right, up the stairs. There we go. With my left shoulder being sore, because I use that to swing my weight a little bit on stairs, that's honestly the best I've gotten up those stairs in months. So, all right, I'm home. Thanks for coming on a walk with me.